Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're listening. Welcome in to Touchdown in Paradise here on the Fins Talk Sports Network. I'm Justin.
I'm Pete.
I'm Joe.
I'm Russ.
Well, boys, it's that time of year. The stage is set. There's a lot of controversy behind it, but here we are with the final four teams. The college football playoff is set with Michigan taking home the top seed, Pac-12 champion Washington coming in at number 2. Big 12 champion Texas coming in number 3, making their college football playoff debut. And Alabama controversially getting in at number 4. But I will say there's a lot of talk out of Tallahassee that this is a big Jordan Trav-esty because undefeated Florida State was snubbed from the playoff, mainly due to Jordan Travis's injury. After beating Louisville, they fell to number 5. So I'm going to start here with Pete, and let me just hear it. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What would you have done if you're Boo Corrigan?
No, I do not agree. After Jordan Travis went down, why did they even continue to have them in the top 4 projected then? If he was such a big blow to them, they should not have been in the top 4 even going into the weekend if it basically didn't matter because he wasn't going to be there. So I think it's a joke, dude. It's an absolute joke. Texas beat Bama. Bama beat the SEC, we thought was going to be the SEC champ in Georgia. So they became the SEC champ. That means Texas is better than Bama and the entire SEC. And you have an ACC team that literally went 2-0 against the SEC and went undefeated. So to me, it's a joke. Like, they should not have been in it. SEC should have been excluded. They can't do that, though, because ESPN's got this new deal with them. But it's just ridiculous, dude. Like, why even have them up there going into the weekend if you're basically saying they're not a playoff caliber team? Because had Georgia won, they would have been in there, and Florida State would have been out regardless, right? So it's like, I don't know, dude. Like, it's just ridiculous. I think it's an absolute joke. I hope Bama gets curb stomped by either Michigan or Washington, and we'll just see what happens. But stupid, totally stupid. The SEC should have been out of it. Why even play the damn game, man? You know, like, what? I mean, you talk about Ohio State. How many years ago won the whole thing with the third stringer? Like, come on, man. Like, it's just a joke. I feel really bad for those kids because, I mean, it's just they teach you to win the games, and it literally does not matter. It doesn't matter.
Russ, you're in the South. What kind of outrage are you hearing just being in Florida?
Well, Justin, I'm going to throw a little jab your way. First thing, we're going to talk Florida State, and first thing you do, you go, I'm going to go to Pete here, not the guy who's got boots on the ground in Florida.
Because he knows I hate
Justin? Oh, no, they are fun. They are heated in Florida. People are pissed. It is, you just hear it left and right about how this is just all SEC bias. I love it. Personally, I'm sorry, state of Florida. I didn't want to see Florida State in. Congratulations, went 13-0. I do not want to see that team play Michigan or Texas or Utah and just get killed. They put up 16 points. We're looking for the best 4 teams. They're not the best. I mean, if they won that ACC title game convincingly, maybe scored 30 points, 24 points, maybe they get in. They put up 16 points. I don't want to see that. I want to see the best 4 teams. I know they went 13-0, but you got to take into consideration that Travis went down, and that's a big part of it. They won 16-3 against Louisville. I'm sorry, state of Florida. The committee made the right call. They made the right call.
Joe, is this thing really a playoff or is it a beauty pageant?
Oh, man, no, this is definitely a playoff. These are the 4 best teams at this point. Now, I agree with Pete. Why do you have them still at 4 all this time? But again, I agree with Russ 100%. I knew when Alabama won, Florida State was out. You put up 16 points against Louisville. And then you put up only 24 against Florida. Again, and Florida's awful. Now, again, it was the tale of the 2 backups, whatever. And then against Louisville, you probably had your 3rd string in. But again, no one wanted to watch Michigan just beat the living daylights out of them. Again, congratulations. You were 13-0. And unfortunately, an injury came and destroyed your season. And that's just part of football. It doesn't take away from the season. It just means you're not one of the 4 best in this year. I mean, 12 team next year, they're in, and we would be proven right that they would get just annihilated by anyone in the top 4. But is it a beauty pageant? I mean, a little bit. It has to be. You have to look at it and say, based off of performance, based off of how they play against teams, you have to look at it that way. I think Alabama, yes, they only beat Georgia by 3, but from the very beginning, Georgia, 29-game winning streak, 2-time national championship in a row, and you beat them basically at home practically in Atlanta. You have to put Alabama over Florida State. I'm sorry. You have to, because they were and are the better team in this moment. And record does say a lot, but again, it's in this moment. Who are the 4 best teams? And the committee got it right. So,
hey, Pete, I'm going to throw this question to you, because you preach it all the time. You're a big money man. What does Alabama bring to the college football playoffs? They bring money. They bring people. They're going to help the economy because Bama fans travel everywhere you go. So you're a money guy. This is what Bama does. They got to think about that too. This is a businessman too. This is a business now.
It is a business, and ESPN, who broadcasts all this shit, has a new deal with the SEC network, with the SEC, who has left CBS. So I think there's money at play behind the scenes, but let's not forget, Florida State has carried college football for how many years? They have fans that will travel. Okay. Also, Louisville beat Notre Dame when Notre Dame had only a goal line loss to Ohio State, and Florida State beat them. I mean, to me, it's just a joke, dude. It's a literal joke. Like, I just don't get it. It's the same Bama team that lost to Texas at home, that only won by 14 points against USF, who fucking sucks. Like, get out of here. The SEC, including Georgia, and we'll get to it, Georgia sucks. Georgia's trash, dude. If you think that even Georgia was going to win this whole thing with that team in there, no way, dude. The SEC is not as good this year is what I thought, because Georgia's not that good, and Alabama was not that good all season. So to me, if you're going to do this, just acknowledge it. Just be like, oh yeah, we're going to put Bama in because it's going to be a better game. But I mean, Bama's played some shit games this year, so it's like, I just don't know how you can do that. A Power 5 conference goes undefeated, and you're going to leave them out. Come on, dude. It's just ridiculous. It's so stupid. It's laughable. It's laughable.
Coming
also,
from the guy.
Kirk Herbstreit can suck one, dude. That guy is just towing the company line here. He's just – I mean, his own team went with the 3rd stringer to win the whole thing a couple years ago. So what the hell is he talking about, dude? He can shut it.
Well, the one thing I'm also going to say, Pete, if you're looking at Louisville's record, they lost to Pitt, who Notre Dame beat by 50-something points. So basically, that goes simultaneously with the fact that they beat Notre Dame and Notre Dame beat Pitt. So theoretically, is Notre Dame better than Louisville? So,
Alabama's looking like the best team in college football right now.
Who?
Alabama's looking like the best team in college football right now.
Yeah, bro. If you watch that game, though, I thought Georgia sucked, dude. What?
I mean, this is coming from a guy who, Sam Hartman, Heisman, Marcus Freeman. We're winning the national title this year. I mean,
I was wrong. I was also wrong about how good Georgia is. We should have looked at these games throughout the season and been like, oh, wow, they're really playing kind of crap, not winning these games like they should. Maybe they're not as good. And they weren't, dude. I just can't believe that Bama team that barely beat USF, beat Arkansas.
But that was week 4, Pete.
So?
Again,
It's still the season.
You play a full season. You play 13 games.
if we're
Okay.
basing it off of games, you have to also say Michigan looked like trash because they barely
You
beat
can say
Iowa.
that. Yeah, you
Joe,
can say
thank
that.
you.
You could say it should be
Washington looked like trash
Washington.
too there.
Yeah, if you let
Washington.
Michigan out, I'd be like, sure, I get it. Yeah, their schedule sucked. They barely played anyone. They beat Ohio State, sure. You play Iowa in the final game. You think Michigan deserves to be number one? No, it should be Washington, bro. Washington should be number one, or Texas.
No, Texas is no way. They got blown out by Oklahoma, so no way.
I mean, like,
Hey, if you're telling me Bama looks like the best goddamn team on the planet, they beat Bama at home.
Bama, in my opinion, should be 4, but they are the hottest team right now. They are the hottest team, and again, that's what it comes down to. Is they are the hottest team. Their offense has finally figured it out, and their defense is legit. This is a typical Nick Saban defense. So,
but the whole Georgia's trash. I'm not going to come on, Pete. No.
Well, hey, do you think they were? You watched that game. The first drive, they had, they rolled Bama. The rest of the game, they didn't try to do any of that shit. They went away from their game plan. Like, the quarterback was fucking playing like shit. Like, I'll give Bama credit. They are rolling right now. But to me, I watched that and I was like, wow, Georgia sucks. Like, Georgia is not as good as I thought they were. Like, straight up, dude. How many games in the season where we're like, Georgia's keeping games close. They're not blowing teams out. And, like, to me, I watched that game. I was like, I don't think they're that good. We will see.
Well,
credit to Alabama and their defense for shutting out Brock Bowers, shutting down, confusing that quarterback. But again, ultimately the question is, did the committee get it right? Yes, they did, because people don't want to watch Michigan, Florida State. I'm just going to say it now. No one is going to want to watch that game because I guarantee you the spread would have been like 21 points, where Alabama, Michigan is at 1.5.
The Rose Bowl's coming up big. Your own state is going to benefit from that game. So start thinking about the economy, Pete.
I guess. I mean, probably more from Michigan fans than Bama fans. I mean, there's much more
but that's the
Midwestern
whole state's going to benefit. I mean, in Southern California, the Rose Bowl's going to benefit from all those Michigan Bama fans travel. They're going to benefit from all those revenues of hotels, parking, all that. There's going to be so much airlines.
Well, yes, this will be a big stimulus package for the economy. So you guys do all make a good point. The committee did overall make a business decision to put Alabama in over Florida State. But we do get Florida State in a bowl game with another one of those contenders, and we'll get to that in just a second. But now it's time for the Russ Report.
All right, so we got one more game. We have to, as Joe told me, we have to call America's game. We got to do that, even though, respect to vets, they're all winners. But we got to call the game. There's got to be one winner on the field.
It's America's game for a reason.
All these people, they're all winners. Joe did have a killer week. He's up 1 on me. He called an upset. I think maybe it's like, you guys probably would think I'd be cheating if I won. So we'll make it.
I called Alabama. I was the only one to call Alabama. So come on, give me some credit here.
Joe's got 87 points. I got 86. So I need this to tie or win. But Joe did have a solid week. I did too. I was the only one who called Washington. I've been on him since week 1.
True.
No, I called Washington. I called Washington.
I called Oregon.
I called Washington. I called them to win.
No, you bet on them to win. You called Oregon. You put money on it. So you put your money where you put money on it, but then you called Oregon.
I'll have to review the tape.
Yeah.
I called Washington to cover and Oregon to win.
I'm throwing the challenge flag out. You called Oregon.
We got to go to the tape for that one. But going forward here, Army, Navy, the game this year in Foxborough, Massachusetts, home of the New England Patriots. Sounds pretty fitting. Army is a 3-point favorite here. Over-under is only 27.5, with Army coming in as a -155 money line favorite, Navy +130. Starting with Joe, our leader.
Talk about a classic triple option game where the over-under is 27.5. Like, love it. I'm doing this. I got a bunch of family that has served in the Army. As I can hear Lee Corso in my head, go Navy, beat Army. Well, no, I'm going go Army, beat Navy. I'm taking Army -3. I'm taking the under. Just seems right to take the under, and I'm taking Army to win. Go Army, beat Navy.
Okay. Pete.
Yeah, I'm on the same train as Joe. I am going to take Army to beat Navy. I'm just going to throw my own thing out there. I'm going to call the exact score of the game, and if I do, I win the whole fucking thing. So I'm calling the score of the game right now. It's going to go under. It's going to be 17-14 Army. Let's go.
Russ.
All right. Well, I got some personal ties. All my grandfather was in the Army, Purple Heart, World War II. All his brothers were in the Navy. My great uncle Dave was part of the first shot club at Pearl Harbor, USS Iowa. So I got a lot of ties. I got to catch up. So I'm taking Navy to win. I'm taking Navy to cover, and I'm taking the under.
But I got that one.
I got till Saturday morning to change that if I want, but
it's on the tape. You said the under.
Yeah,
Nope.
You got to look at the tape. You can't review text. It's all on the tape, dude.
Because that's what our viewers see. You can't just switch it up in the group chat.
All right, I'm taking the over like it hit last year, boys. I'm taking the over.
Okay.
Hey, last year was like the first time, and I can't remember how long the over hit last year.
Oh, I guess technically I took the over too. So I'm calling the game 17-14. So let's ride, baby.
And I had family who was in the Navy more so. Shout out to Uncle Boo. Thank you for your service. And thank you to all the servicemen and women and everything in between who are serving our great country. We really appreciate your sacrifice. And that being said, this game here, I've got to call Navy. Got to go with the family here. I'll take Navy money line. It's going to get very close, but I'm going to take the under, and I'll go Navy to cover. Got that, Russ?
So I'm the only one with the over?
No, Pete is taking the over, too.
No, I thought it was 27.5.
It is. But he said 17-14. So 28. Wait.
31.
31, yep. I'm a history teacher, not a math teacher.
Yeah, come on, teach.
I'm a history teacher, not a math teacher.
Well, guys, like I said, it is that time of year. We do have a Final Four, but we also have Paradise Bowl Mania. That's right. It is officially bowl season, and that means we get to go through every single bowl game, and we're just going to pick the winners because there's so many bowls out there. So many bowls and not enough cereal. So let's start off here with Saturday, December 16th. We have the Myrtle Beach Bowl at 11 a.m. in Conway, South Carolina. Georgia Southern versus Ohio, who is a 3.5-point favorite. Let's start with Russ.
You want to start, Joe?
Sure. I'll take Georgia Southern. I'll take Georgia Southern.
Okay, Georgia Southern. Pete.
I'm going Ohio. They're going to like the nice warm air down there, a little Myrtle Beach action, maybe a little boogie board action, get the vibes going, dude. So I'm taking Ohio, man. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm with you, Pete.
And Georgia Southern is an up-and-coming program. They made the jump to FBS, and they're about to get things rolling. This is going to create some momentum. Give me the Eagles. On to the Celebration Bowl, Florida A&M versus Howard, our FCS matchup here. This is happening at noon the same day in Atlanta. There is no favorite listed on this game, so I'm just going to go with Florida A&M. Go Rattlers. Russ.
Yeah, I'll go with Florida on this one. I'll
Joe?
go Florida A&M. Oh, hey, I want to throw something out.
Okay.
Just because there's so many games, if you guys can – and I'm human, I make mistakes, all right? So write down your picks, submit them to me, and then I'll have them here too. Just because if I do miss, there's a shit ton of games. I want to get them all. So just let's do that this week.
All right.
Okay. So I'll start writing these down.
It's just
There's a whole bunch of games out there. That is true.
Whose turn is it? Me? I'm taking Howard.
Okay, Pete.
Yeah, I'm taking Florida A&M in conjunction and solidarity with their Tallahassee brethren. They're going to go out there and they're going to beat the crap out of them. So I'm taking Florida A&M, baby.
On to the New Orleans Bowl. Jacksonville State, a 3-point favorite versus Louisiana. This game is in New Orleans, 2:15. Who wants to go first here? Screw it, I'll go first. Let's go Jacksonville State Gamecocks. They're up and coming. FBS, new school. They're rocking. They're rolling. Let's go Cox. Pete.
Same here. I got a good vibe about Jacksonville State. So let's keep it rolling. Let's go, baby.
Russ.
Yeah, I'm on Jacksonville State too.
Joe.
I'm taking Louisiana. It's a home game, so might as well.
That's a good point. Yep. The Cure Bowl happening in Orlando, Florida, 3:30 p.m. This is Miami of Ohio versus Appalachian State, or however you say it, Appalachian. Starting with Joe.
I'm going to take App State, Pete's team. Great call.
Yeah.
Great call in that JMU game. I'm rolling with them.
I'm doing the same thing simply just because of that.
And I'm going to go Miami of Ohio just because they won their conference and somebody picked them to upset. I think it was Joe, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm running the other Miami train. Let's go. Russ?
I'm on App.
Okay, you are on the app.
App State. Yeah. I'm trying to write. I'm multitasking right now, boys. I'm sorry. I just moved out of my place, so I'm like, I'm sitting on my couch with my coffee table, so it's a little uncomfortable.
Well, congratulations on your new place, Russ.
Thanks.
And maybe we'll be congratulating you with another prize in a couple weeks. But we're going to move on.
I'm hoping I can continue my Bowl Mania dominance, go 2-0.
That's right. Now, the New Mexico Bowl happening in Albuquerque at 5:45. Fresno State versus New Mexico State, who's a 3-point favorite. Russ, are the Aggies going to win this home game?
I'm going New Mexico State, was it La Cruz is going to come down and down to Albuquerque and show out.
I'm riding with you. I'm going to go with the Aggies here, New Mexico State. Pete?
Not so fast, my friend. I'm going Fresno State. They're going to get it done. They're going to take down the Aggies.
He believes in Mikey Keene, former UCF legend. Joe?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm riding with you two. It's in New Mexico, home game, New Mexico State.
We got a pretty good mix going on. This one hits close to home. The LA Bowl in Inglewood, California at SoFi, happening at 7:30. UCLA takes on Boise State. UCLA is a 3-point favorite here. Are we riding with the home team this time, Pete?
This might be a lock of the frickin' century game. There's no way UCLA loses this, and they're going to win by double digits. So UCLA.
Russ, Boise State did bounce back and win their conference. Is that enough?
No, I'm going UCLA. Isn't this the Jimmy Fallon Bowl?
Used to be.
No, it used to be the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl.
That's it, yeah.
One of the Jimmys. One of those late night guys.
Well, I'm actually friends with Jimmy Kimmel's sister, and I don't think she'd be very happy with confusing the two. So shout out to Jill. You're awesome. This, unfortunately, is no longer named after your brother, but I'm going to take the Bruins. This is a home game here. Who hasn't picked yet?
I'm taking Boise State. UCLA lost their DC to USC. I think they're going to be flat. Go Broncos.
All right, moving on to the Independence Bowl, happening in Shreveport, Louisiana, 9:15 on ESPN. Texas Tech versus Cal. Texas Tech comes in as a -3 favorite here. I'm going to go with Cal. I think they could score hard. They could score fast. And they want to cap this season going into the ACC with some good momentum. I just don't believe enough in Tech, too, after that beating they took in Austin. So give me the Bears. Russ.
Yeah, I'm going Cal, too. That I saw them against USC. They put up a lot of points, so I'm going with Cal Bears.
Joe?
I'm rolling Cal Bears as well.
Same here, son. Get her done.
Golden Bears across the board. We're feeling golden, boys. Now, on Monday, December 18th, we have the Bahamas Bowl, temporarily renamed the famous Toastery Bowl, allegedly, happening in Nassau, Bahamas at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. Western Kentucky versus Old Dominion, who is a 2.5-point favorite here. By virtue of Western Kentucky having Bailey Zappi as an alumni, as well as Mike White, I'm going to have to go with the Hilltoppers here. Pete?
I'm taking Old Dominion. The Monarchs are going to get it done, and then they're going to go party and ball out in the Bahamas, man. It sounds like a pretty sick bowl game to me.
Hey, who's going to party harder, the people who are on the coast or people who are in the middle of Bumblefuck? No
Yeah,
offense
that's
to
what I was
Western
going to
Kentucky.
say. Those Western Kentucky boys are going to be too busy partying before the game.
Oh, all right. Joe?
Yeah, I'm going with Old Dominion. I don't know either of these two teams. I'm just going with who I think is closer.
Wow, you didn't do your research,
And Russ.
man? You haven't
There's
boned
too
up
many
on
games to do
football?
research on.
Oh, well, I'm going Western Kentucky purely on my boy Mike White, diehard Jets fan. I love Mike fucking White. It kills my soul to see him with the Dolphins. I love the guy. I need him back. So let's go Hilltoppers.
Tuesday, December 19th, we get the Frisco Bowl out in Frisco, Texas, 9 p.m. This is Marshall versus UTSA, who is a heavy 9.5-point favorite in this game. Let's start with Joe.
Again, it's in Texas. Take the home team, UTSA.
Pete?
Yeah, keep it in the state, bring it home.
Russ?
Yeah, as much as I would love to say we are marshaled, UTSA is a solid team, so I got UTSA Roadrunners.
Great film.
We are not winning UTSA. They were able to retain Jeff Traylor, and I think that's going to put them over the edge here. UTSA wins. Thursday, December 21st, we have the Boca Raton Bowl down in Boca Raton, Florida, 8 p.m. Shout out to all my friends and family from down there. This is the University of South Florida, USF, versus Syracuse. Syracuse comes in as a 3-point favorite. Pete, are the Orange going to get it done?
I think they probably should be a larger favorite. It's basically kind of a home game for South Florida, so but that doesn't matter. I mean, people from upstate New York are in Florida all the time. They got second homes down there. So I'm taking Syracuse to get her done.
Yeah, USF is geographically challenged, thinking that Tampa is South Florida, where the school is. So they're not at home. Give me Syracuse. They're more at home because we all know that South Florida is the furthest south point of Long Island. Russ?
Yeah, I was going to go USF, but there's probably more Syracuse fans in the state of Florida than there are USF fans. So I'm going Syracuse.
That's a fact, not an opinion. Joe?
Yeah, I'm rolling with you all. I think Syracuse is just going to be the better team.
Friday, December 22nd, we get the Gasparilla Bowl out in Tampa at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Georgia Tech versus UCF. UCF coming in as a 5.5-point favorite. They've won this bowl several times. I don't think they've lost this bowl in the past, actually. I'm going to go with the Knights. I know we're facing Brent Key, our old coach, the coach of Georgia Tech. George O'Leary, coach of both schools formerly, is going to be there getting honored at the game. I just think that we're going to get up and we're going to get it done. Russ?
Yeah, I'm going UCF. This is a home game for them, basically. It's a short drive down to 75 to
I-4.
Tampa. What?
I-4.
I-4 to the 75, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm with UCF.
Same here, son. Do it for Justin.
Whenever Justin throws out stats like that, like he did with the special jerseys, I know just to ride with it. So just because of Justin's stats, I'm going with UCF.
I was really surprised. I thought you were going Georgia Tech. Like that was like the biggest shocker of the year.
Charge on, boys. Charge on. Only one team wearing gold is going to win that night, and it ain't from Georgia. Saturday, December 23rd, the Birmingham Bowl. We get Troy I believe they're the Sun Belt champions, -7 favorite versus Duke. Duke now no longer with Mike Elko, no longer with Riley Leonard, their quarterback either. This game happening in Birmingham at 12 p.m. noon. Let's start with Pete.
It's a home game for Troy, and like you said, Duke's no longer with Elko. I think Duke can win it, but I don't know, for some reason I just get the vibe Troy's going to get it done. But I mean, Duke should be the better team.
So who's your pick?
Troy.
Okay, Joe.
Yeah, again, Duke is just being dismantled. A lot of guys in the transfer portal lost their head coach. I just think all that going on, Troy going to win.
Russ.
Yeah, Pete, you love those picks where you think you make a pick, but you actually just talk and you don't actually make a pick. So you love doing that. But yeah, it's a home game in Birmingham, so I'm going with Troy.
You just got to open your ears, brah.
Yeah, I mean, bro, we want facts. We want calls here, buddy. We don't just want you. But I think they can win. Be definitive with your picks, Peter.
Wow.
I'm jacked up tonight, boys.
I can tell. You take a shot of whiskey or what?
Yeah, what's going on?
He's a Florida man now. He's a different breed. Give me Troy. Let's move on. The Camellia Bowl happening in Montgomery, Alabama, staying in that state at noon. Arkansas State versus Northern Illinois, who's a 1-point favorite in this game. That's almost an even line. I'll go with the Red Wolves here. I think they're going to shock some people. Pete.
Yeah, I'm being decisive. Northern Illinois, DeKalb County. I used to live about 30 minutes outside of there. It's going to get it done, son. So
Right.
Northern Illinois to win.
Back it up.
Go ahead, Russ.
Yeah, I'm like Joe. There's a lot of games, so I didn't do my 100% research on every single game, but I know Michael the Burner Turner went to Northern Illinois, so I'm going to go with Northern Illinois.
Excuse me. And Joe.
I'm rocking Northern Illinois. Go Huskies.
Okay, I stand alone with the Red Wolves. I'm repping Timo, our athletic director at UCF, that was his alma mater, and we hired him away from. Gus Malzahn also was the coach there before he went to Auburn. Now for the Armed Forces Bowl, Air Force versus James Madison. Russ's Dukes are a 3-point favorite here in Fort Worth at 3:30. Russ, what do you think?
I mean, that's going to be tough winning a game against Air Force called the Armed Forces Bowl. But let's go, Dukes. I'm going with James Madison. There you go,
Not
Pete. That's
so fast, my friend. Not so fast. JMU just lost their coach to Indiana. Air Force can surprise people. Give me the Falcons. Joe.
Yeah, didn't really do much research on this game, but I know how much this means to James Madison to be in just a bowl. I think you'll be close, but I think the Dukes pull it out.
Pete.
Yeah, I'm going Air Force. JMU's done.
Let's go. My favorite bowl, the famous Idaho Potato Bowl in the beautiful state of Idaho, happening in Boise on Boise State's field at 3:30 p.m. Georgia State, the Blue Panthers, making a big trip to the blue turf as a 2-point favorite against Utah State. Who wins, the Aggies or the Panthers? Starting with Joe.
Oh, man. Both these. I'm going Utah State. I think it's closer. I think that, just because it's closer. Go Utah State.
Let's do it. I'll go with Utah State as well because it is closer, and Georgia State's got to fly a long, long way. That's going to take a toll on them. And Boise, I know Boise State is different when you're facing Boise State on that turf, but when you are up there, it's pretty tough to win on that blue turf. I don't know who's the home team, who's not. Not that it really matters. I don't know how many fans are going to travel either. Hopefully a good amount. But not Joe. Pete, what do you think?
Well, Utah State lost by like 35 to Boise earlier this season. I'm going to take Georgia State. For some reason, I think they're going to get it done. Georgia State. It doesn't matter that it's a home game, basically, for Utah. Georgia State, baby.
Russ.
Yeah, I'm going Utah State purely on that. It's a close proximity right there, and Georgia's got to travel pretty far, so I'll go Utah State.
The 68 Ventures Bowl happening in Mobile, Alabama. Mobile, however you Southerners say it. I apologize for butchering it. Eastern Michigan, I don't know how they're in a bowl game, versus South Alabama, who's a heavy 16-point favorite in this game at 7 p.m. I don't think this is even a question. Give me the Jaguars of South Alabama. They went into Oklahoma State and won 33-7 earlier this year. Like I said, respect to Max Crosby, respect to Eastern Michigan. It's just mind-blowing to see the Eagles in a bowl game. Give me USA. Pete.
Yeah, the same thing, Justin. I don't think Eastern Michigan can get it done. So I'm riding with you.
Joe?
Simple. Home game, go with the home team, South Alabama.
Heck yeah.
Russ.
Yeah, I'm going with South Alabama. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Is it South Alabama in Mobile?
I'd have to look it up.
I'm pretty sure they're in Mobile, Alabama.
It's the only major city in southern Alabama, so I'm going to have to say
they're in Mobile. It's a
They
home.
are.
They're not even going to have to travel. It's an easy pick.
Yeah, there you go. The Las Vegas Bowl, Northwestern versus Utah. Utah is a 7-point favorite here in Vegas at 7:30 p.m. on ABC. Russ, who you got?
I got the Utes.
Keeping it simple.
hell yeah. Same here.
Make it 3.
Make it 4. Utes all the way. The Hawaii Bowl, San Jose State, a 10-point favorite over Coastal Carolina, literally traveling across the world, just like I am in a couple hours off to Sydney. I'm actually broadcasting from the airport, if I haven't mentioned. This game is in Honolulu at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Are we going with the Spartans or the Chanticleers, Joe?
I'm going with the team that doesn't have to travel as far, San Jose.
I watched San Jose State in person against USC in week 0 this past year, and they held their own. They still put up 28 points. I'll take them to win this game pretty handily. Russ.
Yeah, I got it. San Jose State.
Pete?
Same here. Same thing.
We're all going with SJSU on to Tuesday, December 26th, day after Christmas. I know a lot of us will be out shopping, but some of us will be on our couches watching college football because the Quick Lane Bowl kicks us off at 2 p.m. Happening in Detroit, we get Bowling Green versus Minnesota, the 3.5-point favorite. Give me the Gophers. Row the boat, baby. Row the boat. Pete?
Same here. Gopher Nation, my man. Let's take it.
Joe, we rowing the boat?
Yep, I'm rowing it with you 3. Let's go.
Russ?
Yeah, Minnesota. But, yeah, and I'm gonna go with Minnesota. All my family is from St. Paul, Minnesota, so I'm rolling with "Don't turn your back on family, boys."
Let's do it. The First Responder Bowl happening in Dallas, Texas State, -4 versus Rice. Geez, it's wild to see these two teams actually in a bowl game. Texas State, who I know a lot of people from my high school went to Texas State, and they've not been a good football team for a long time. So props to them for having a program-building season, going into Baylor and beating them. And then Rice, a program that's really fallen from grace over the past couple decades. Who are you going with?
I'll jump in. I'm going to go Texas State. As you just mentioned, they are on the rise. Rice is on the decline. So Texas State.
Joe?
Quick sports news flash. Make Russ happy. Yankees just signed Juan Soto, traded for him. So Russ,
Yeah, let's go, baby.
you can get your chubby on, but wait till
Yeah.
after the show. I'm taking Texas State. I was going to go with the home team, but there is no home team. They're both in Texas, so I went with who was favored.
That's right. Texas State is in San Marcos versus Rice, which is in the heart of Rice Village in Houston. Russ, did you make your pick?
Yeah, I'm going with Texas State.
Okay, looks like we're all riding with the Bobcats here. Texas State it is. The Guaranteed Rate Bowl, the Kansas Jayhawks, a heavy favorite in a football game. How often did we say that the last 10 years? Versus UNLV. By the way, we do send our thoughts and prayers. There was an active shooting that happened at UNLV today. Thankfully, it sounds like The shooter was caught. He is deceased, and the police handled it very well, very quickly. We send our prayers to any of the victims. Whew, that being said, it sounds like there'll be a heavy heart. I know we're not picking covers, but I feel like UNLV will play a lot of hard to cover this game, but give me Lance Leipold and the Jayhawks to win. Russ?
Yeah, I got Kansas.
Joe?
Yeah, Justin, I agree. I think after this, UNLV will play tough, but I just think ultimately Kansas will pull out the win.
And Pete?
Yeah, I think the same thing. I mean, after what happened today and a couple students and stuff that passed away, that's a lot, man. So I'm going to say Kansas is going to win, but at this point, they might not even be thinking about football. They're probably not. So.
Mm-hmm. Wednesday, December 27th, we get the Military Bowl. Tulane, last year's Group of 5 champion and Cotton Bowl champion, versus Virginia Tech, who comes in at a 7.5-point favorite, happening in Annapolis, Maryland at 2 p.m. I'm going to go with the Hokies here just because Willie Fritz is gone from Tulane. He went to Houston. So give me Virginia Tech. Joe.
Yeah, I originally I was on the Tulane train. I still kind of honestly no. I'm still sticking with the Green Wave.
Okay, changing it up there, Russ.
Now is Pratt playing? Screw it, I'm going Tulane.
Okay, Pete.
Yeah, I'm going Virginia Tech. I mean, they're up in that area. It's kind of close to Maryland, kind of a home game, more home game vibe. So I'm going Virginia Tech, especially after what you said, Justin.
Much easier to travel for them, that's right. The Duke's Mayo Bowl, where the famous dunk of mayonnaise happens to the winning coach. This is happening in Charlotte, 5:30. It's North Carolina versus West Virginia, who's a 3-point favorite, even though it's in North Carolina, which is a little surprising. A little surprising, too, how North Carolina finished their season not too good. But let's start with Russ here. What do you think?
I'm going North Carolina. They're the home team. They're going to travel. It's in Charlotte.
Pete?
Yeah, same here. I'm going North Carolina. I don't see any way that they lose this game. I'm shocked that they are not favored.
Joe?
Talk about one of the grossest traditions of getting a mayo bath. Disgusting. But yeah, ultimately home game, North Carolina. It is, like Pete said, surprising that they're not the favorite.
I know it's a home game. West Virginia has been very hit or miss this year. Neil Brown somehow still has a job, to the dismay of a lot of the fans in West Virginia. I don't know how much longer Mac Brown is going to coach, but I know his team is going to want to send him off with a Mayo dunk. So I'll go with UNC as well. The Holiday Bowl, number 15 Louisville versus University of Southern California without Caleb Williams, which means Louisville is a 7.5-point favorite out in San Diego at 8 p.m. Starting with Joe here.
I'm taking Southern Cal. Even without Caleb Williams, I think they have just the better talent. They have the new DC. Again, I'm not saying that his system or anything's going to be in, but he said that yesterday that they're not that far off on the defensive side of the ball. I think they're going to surprise some people, and they have a 5-star quarterback as the backup, Southern Cal.
I agree, Joe. I agree. I'll go with USC as well. Not having Caleb Williams, who cares? We saw Louisville last week. We saw that they're not good. But what does concern me is that was a very good Florida State defense versus a very bad USC defense. So if they're half the team that they should be, then they should win. But what do you think, Russ?
Yeah, initially I went USC, and then I just flipped to Louisville. I'm going to go back to USC. They got a 5-star backup. Probably went to Modern Day because all the quarterbacks went to Modern Day from USC. So I'm going to go with Southern Cal.
Surprisingly, Russ, he went to LoSal of all places.
LoSal, wow.
Whoa.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
He was a big sign too.
Yep.
Pete?
Yeah, I want to pick Louisville because I think that they're better than maybe how they played. But it's just – I feel like it's just all lining up for USC to have a great game. So I'm going to go USC, and all they got to do is drive down 2 hours, So maybe not even that. So USC.
Trojans are sweeping our pick there. The Texas Bowl, or as I like to say, the knockoff of the Red River rivalry. Number 20, Oklahoma State versus Texas A&M. A&M is a 3.5-point favorite here in Houston, 9 p.m. on ESPN. This is a tough one, man, because Gundy's team did not finish very well. Meanwhile, Texas A&M, Jimbo's gone. They've been playing a little bit better. What do you think, Joe?
I've come to conclude this is the game that you don't doubt Gundy on. I just think, again, he did just get annihilated by Texas, and then everyone's going to write him off. Think Elko is going to bring all of his defensive swagger, but again, he's not going to have the time to implement it. So I'm trusting Gundy here and that beautiful mullet of his. Go Cowboys.
Pete.
God, I'm so tempted to pick him, Joe, but I thought he might do something in the Big 12 game, at least make it close. And then, oh my God. So I can't. I'm going Aggies, but I kind of want Gundy to win it. So I'm going Aggies though.
I do want Gundy to win it, but I don't think he will. A&M has a new energy to them with Mike Elko. He's not going to coach this game, but I feel like some of those players are going to stick around, not going into the portal, are going to want to impress him and give them some good momentum going into next season. So give me the Aggies here. Go ahead, Russ.
I'm with you, Joe. I'm going Oklahoma State. I'm trusting the mullet. Go Pope.
Trust the mullet.
Trusting the mullet. Thursday, December 28th, we get the Fenway Bowl happening in Boston at Fenway at 11 a.m. Number 24, SMU, the American champions, are 11.5-point favorite over Boston College. Let's make this quick. Give me the Ponies. I know it's a home game for Boston College, but they put up a very good showing against a very good Tulane team. There's some good momentum riding with the Mustangs. Go SMU.
I'm jumping in on that too. Go, the Pony Express may be back.
Yeah, I'm with you. Besides the point, if you're in college and you make a bowl game and it's in your own damn city, how pissed would you be, dude? I want to go someplace. Like, how many of these schools that literally don't even have to leave? It's like, come on, man, at least send me somewhere new, cool, like that kind of sucks, man.
It's good for the fans who are local, but yeah, it does make sense if you want to go to a destination like the Bahamas.
Come on,
this is your opportunity.
Yeah. They don't all get to go to the Bahamas. God, there's a bunch of other islands down there, countries,
Russ.
Yeah, I'm going with SMU, Pony Express.
Russ, I'm going to have you start on this next one here because it's the Pinstripe Bowl happening at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. 2:15 p.m. The new home of Juan Soto gets to host Rutgers and Miami of Florida. Who you got?
Oh, man. At Yankee Stadium, I got Miami. I'm sorry, Rutgers. I got Miami. And, guys, look how many bowl games we got. I'm on a second page here.
I'm going Miami, too. Let's go Miami.
Joe, you riding local or riding south?
This game, I'm going the home team. I think the fact that Rutgers had their, first winning season in a while. It's at home. What are they, the Scarlet Knights? Go Knights.
It would be a lot of momentum to win this game for Rutgers, and I feel like that's what they're going to do. I'm sorry, Miami, I love you, but Rutgers is making a big step forward this year, so congrats to the Scarlet Knights. Hurricanes just lost Tyler Van Dyke. I don't know if they're going to win this game because of that. The Pop-Tarts Bowl. Oh, I love that. Pop-Tarts Bowl. Number 18, NC State versus number 25, Kansas State, who is a 3.5-point favorite out in Orlando, 5:45. This one I got to go with Big 12 brethren, Kansas State. NC State had a pretty good season after I had some beef with them, so credit to them. But I don't know, something about Kansas State has me feeling like I'm feeling pretty good about the Big 12 here. Russ?
Yeah, I was split on this because, if you were, Justin, you lived in Florida, I'm in Florida. There's a lot of North Carolina people down here, but I'm going with the Wildcats.
Pete, keep it going.
Yeah, I think NC State's going to pop off and win this game. So I'm going NC State.
Aha. Joe.
I'm going back and forth. This game, in my opinion, could be a pick-em. I think I'm going to go Kansas State. I think if this was a regular season at NC State, I would take the Wolfpack. But on the road, I don't trust the Wolfpack, so let's go Wildcats.
The Alamo Bowl, number 12, Oklahoma versus number 14, Arizona, out in San Antonio, 9:15 p.m. Oh, Russ, I know you're sweating bullets right now just thinking about this matchup because you've got family who went to both schools. So let's hear from you.
Why don't you jump off Peter, Joe?
I'm taking Zona.
Okay.
Go Arizona.
Yeah, I'm doing Zona as well. So I think they're going to get it done.
Jetfish is looking to capitalize on the momentum. Give me Arizona. Russ?
Well, like Justin said, my brother went to University of Arizona. My sister went to University of Oklahoma. I got ties to both schools. But Arizona's my football team. I think they're going to capitalize on this, what they're going on. I think they won 7 in a row, I want to say. So I got Arizona. Bear down, baby. Let's go.
And don't forget Oklahoma, Dylan Gabriel is in the transfer portal. So
that's what I say, he's gone.
Let's go Wildcats, baby. Bear down.
Friday, December 29th, we have.
I love you, Mary. I love my sister. I love Oklahoma, but I got to go with U of A.
Friday, December 29th, we have the Gator Bowl. Number 22, Clemson, is a 7-point favorite over Kentucky in Jacksonville at noon. We got to speed up here, so just give me Clemson to cover here. Go ahead.
Same.
Yeah, I'm gonna go like Kirk Herbstreit when they say speed up and take my time. So my brother's new wife went to Clemson, so I'm gonna go with Caitlin. I'm gonna go with the Tigers.
We're all buying Clemson stock, as Dabo said. Speaking of Tigers, we get the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl next. Number 16, Notre Dame versus number 19, Oregon State. Notre Dame here is a heavy 8.5-point favorite in El Paso, 2 p.m. on CBS. I'm going to go with the Irish here. Jonathan Smith is gone from Oregon State. Not Brian Kelly, but Marcus Freeman is still there. Sam Hartman, I'm not sure if he's going to play, but regardless, Notre Dame's going to win. That's pretty big. Joe, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going the Irish. Oregon State will be down to the third quarterback. Hartman said he is playing. Freeman will be there. Go Irish.
Pete.
Same here. I think the last time they played in this bowl, they won. They tore it up. So I think it's going to be back-to-back versions of that. So, ND Nation, baby, let's go.
Russ.
Pete, I thought you were going with Oregon State, so I was going to jump with you on that, but I'm going Irish. Let's go Notre Dame.
I know. I really almost did. I was like, maybe I should. No way, Jose.
Liberty Bowl out in Memphis, Tennessee, 3:30 p.m. This is a home game for the Memphis Tigers. This is their home stadium of the Liberty Bowl. They're playing Iowa State, who is an 8.5-point favorite here. I'll make this quick. Give me the Cyclones. They were in this game about 5 years ago, these same two teams, and Iowa State destroyed them. Iowa State quietly won 7 games this year, so I'll go with the Cyclones. Pete.
Same here, Justin. I'm going Cyclones.
Going with the home team. Go Tigers. Memphis Tigers.
I got Memphis.
All right, we're split. Now for one of our New Year's Six Bowls, the Cotton Bowl happening out in Arlington, Texas. Number 7, Ohio State versus number 9, Mizzou. Mizzou here is actually a 1-point favorite. That's pretty close, I know. I think I believe in the Tigers enough. Kyle McCord is going to be gone from this game. He's in the portal. Marvin Harrison Jr., I'm not sure if he's going to play or not. I don't know. Is this going to be the game that the Tigers make some noise and make a big upset here? Ryan Day is seen as getting a little bit warmer. Give me the Tigers. Screw it. Joe.
I'm changing. I originally was Missouri, but I don't know. I feel like, again, it's not a team named Michigan, so I'm going Ohio State.
Yeah, same here. I think
Russ.
Missouri's overrated.
Yeah, I'm going Mizzou. I'm with you on this one, Justin. SEC.
As much as I can't stand the SEC, I would love to see somebody beat Ohio State in the bowl game. Personally, just would love to see that. Sorry, Ohio State fans. Not this year. Saturday, December 30th, we get the Peach Bowl, continuing our New Year's Six. Number 10, Penn State is a 3.5-point favorite over number 11, Ole Miss, out in Atlanta. I'm going to go with the underdog here. Give me the Rebels. It's still Lane Kiffin. I don't know if Jackson Dart is playing or not, but I trust him to get it done over a Penn State team that can't score. Russ?
Yeah, I got Ole Miss.
I got Ole Miss as well.
Joe?
Same here. He's a better coach than James Franklin. So just simply because of that, I'm taking Kiffin and Ole Miss.
The Music City Bowl happening out in Nashville, 2 p.m. Auburn is a 2.5-point favorite over Maryland. Auburn is in the South. It's going to be basically a home game for them. Most fans are going to pack the stadium. Give me the Tigers here. Russ?
Yeah, I got Maryland.
Okay, believing in Talia. Go ahead, Joe.
I'm going Auburn as well. I just think the way they have some momentum.
You know, I mean, based on popular logic, maybe Auburn should have been ranked 5th because they had Alabama beat, who's the hottest goddamn team in the nation. So I'm going to go Auburn because they should have been number 5, son. Florida State should have been number 6.
If Auburn had won, maybe, but they didn't.
Just saying, logic, you know? Hottest team in football almost loses. Is basically dead to rights. Loses by a Hail Mary.
Almost is only good in horseshoes and hand grenades, Peter. Almost is only good in horseshoes and hand grenades.
That's what Saban's going to think when he loses to Michigan.
Okay, so the next one is the Orange Bowl. Number 5, Florida State versus number 6, Georgia. Georgia is a massive favorite at 14.5.
I got UGA, Georgia.
I have Georgia as well.
I'm going to take Florida State.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I think Florida State's defense is for real. It's going to give them a chance.
Well, I'm going to go for Justin. He's going UCF in this game.
So we'll have to get that one down from Justin. Arizona Bowl, Wyoming versus Toledo. Toledo is a 1-point favorite. I'll go. I'm taking the Cowboys for no particular reason except for it's closer.
I got Toledo.
Cowboy Nation. Wyoming actually. Whoa, what just happened there?
What's
going on right now, dude?
Starting a rave?
Whoa, what is going on?
Well, Pete's got Wyoming.
Wait. I got Wyoming, but stick your fingers up like this and go, yeah, let's go. Whoa. Why is it always doing it? All right, Lee, I'm raging with Wyoming. Let's go.
I got Toledo.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so on Monday, January 1st, we got the Relia Quest Bowl, or however you say it. Number 13, LSU versus Wisconsin in Tampa Bay, Florida. Russ.
I got LSU.
Same.
Yeah, Brian Kelly doesn't usually lose bowl games. I mean, he's got a pretty good record in them, so I'm going to take LSU.
Sounds good. Citrus Bowl, number 17 Iowa versus number 21 Tennessee. Pete, where are you going with this?
I'm taking Tennessee to blow the brakes off of Iowa.
Yeah, I got the balls.
I got the balls as well. The Fiesta Bowl, number 8 Oregon versus number 23 Liberty. This game is easy, or I'm taking the Ducks.
Yeah, Ducks.
I'm back.
I'm back. This game, but yeah, Ducks Nation.
I got Oregon. We're on
Airport
Oregon.
Wi-Fi can suck a fat one.
Oregon Liberty, Justin.
It's all right, Justin. We'll get your picks later. Right now, we're on
Oregon Liberty.
We're on the. Oh yeah, we're done with the. Oh yeah, Oregon Liberty, Fiesta Bowl. What do you got?
Oh, easy. Oregon's gonna murder them. Give me the Ducks.
And then we're on the college football playoffs, Justin.
Okay, college football semifinal. God, I hate to do this, but I just think Alabama's got this. I'm going to go with the Tide. Russ?
Yeah, I got Alabama too.
I have Alabama as well.
I'm going to take Michigan, but I think Alabama might win simply because I think Michigan, not to say they're not the better team, but I feel like they could just lay an egg. So, but I'm going to take Michigan. I think they can get it done.
And our college football semifinal at the Sugar Bowl, number 2 Washington versus number 3 Texas. Texas is a 4.5-point favorite here. Guys, who we taking?
I'm taking the Huskies.
Oh, this is a tough one. Damn it. I think I'm going to take the Huskies simply because of Penix, who I think can outduel Ewers. If you've seen some of these games, not to talk too much because I know you got to go, he makes the plays at the end of the game that he needs, the throws he needs to make to win the game. And I think it might come down to one possession where he's got to drive to do it or drive to keep them at bay, and I think he can do it.
Russ, do you believe?
Yeah, I got the Huskies. I've been on them since day one, so I'm going with the Huskies. Let's go Washington, represent for the Pac-12.
I agree. As much as I love Texas and my family loves Texas, it just feels like Washington's year, the year that they go to the title.
They might not ask you home anymore after this one, Justin.
Yeah, well, give me the Huskies here. Okay, so we're going to go now with our predictions for our postseason awards. But before we do that, I missed a couple different bowl games here. Starting with the Orange Bowl, I'll go with Georgia, Arizona Bowl. Give me Toledo, go Rockets. ReliaQuest, I'm taking LSU. And the Citrus Bowl, I'll go with Tennessee to beat Iowa there. Okay, now on to the predictions here. Our Heisman, Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix, and Marvin Harrison Jr. are our finalists. Pete, I'd love to hear your pick.
I'm taking Michael Penix. I mean, he's the only one in the top four. The way he's played this season's been just lights out. He beat Bo Nix twice. The guy is just an absolute stud. Maybe if Marvin Harrison had a better quarterback, he possibly could have had a Heisman winning year. But I think you got to give it to Penix. I think it's pretty clear and cut, to be honest with you. The games that he's won against other Heisman potentials, and just that they're, in the top four. And I think they can go to the national championship game. So Penix all day, baby.
Joe?
I'll keep it short and sweet. Michael Penix, he's the only one that's competing for a national championship.
Russ?
Well, I'm going with Michael Penix, my pick from day one. I'm sticking with him now. So let's go that lefty, get that Heisman in New York.
This has become a two-man race in my eyes because Bo lost twice to Michael Penix. Marvin Harrison, Ohio State lost to Michigan, I know. He still had a fantastic season, but he didn't have like a Devontae Smith type season when he won it. And now it's Jaden Daniels, the human cheat code, versus Michael Penix. It's so hard because you look stat-wise, and Jaden Daniels just stacks the box and checks every box. And then you've got Michael Penix, who's also very skilled, very talented, had probably the best season, not statistically, but just overall dream. I feel like the narrative is there. Give me Michael Penix. I'll roll the dice on him too. The Eddie Robinson Coach of the Year. We talked about this in the group chat earlier. There is just any coach on this list could win this. It's just a great list. David Braun, Northwestern. Jamie Chadwell, Liberty. Kalen DeBoer, Washington. Eli Drinkwitz, Missouri. Jed Fish, Arizona. Rhett Lashley, SMU. Chuck Martin, Miami of Ohio. Mike Norvell, Florida State. Barry Odom, UNLV. Nick Saban, Alabama. Steve Sarkisian, Texas. And John Summerall of Troy. Joe, I'd love to hear your pick here first.
Again, I'm just going to echo, all of these candidates could be selected, and I would not be surprised nor upset. I have two in mind. One was the one I've been writing for a while, and Mike Norvell. And my other one was Jed Fish. What he was able to do for U of A this year. Basically, Russ, did they win a game last year?
Yeah, they used to play last year, but
International Airport.
I'm going to just stick with my gut. I think Mike Norvell, he wins. I think, the fact, 14-0. I'm going to stick with my original pick.
Okay, Pete.
I'm going to go with Sarkisian. I mean, he beat Saban in Bama. He won the Big 12. He's ranked higher in the top four. And I think this was kind of like one of those seasons where his back was a little against the wall. I think mainly to justify being able to coach Archie Manning coming up to be like, hey, this guy's going to be the guy of his next 4 years. So I think his back is against the wall. I'm going Stark.
So many guys deserving on this list. So many narratives behind all of them. Rhett Lashley, great job at SMU turning that thing around. Pony Express might be back heading into the ACC. Jed Fish, what a turnaround at Arizona. But I really think it's got to be Kalen DeBoer. You go turn a program around like Washington, who was in the cellar under Jimmy Lake. Last year, you go 11-2, I believe it was, and then this year you go undefeated. You get Texas again in the bowl game, this time for the chance to play for the national championship. And I just love his attitude and demeanor. He's just so calm, so classy, so collective. He really was just a light in the dim skies of Washington. So I'm going to go with Kalen DeBoer. Russ.
Well, a lot of great candidates. I picked Kalen DeBoer about week 2. So I'm going to go with DeBoer. I'd love to see Jed Fish right up there. He's doing a phenomenal job. Kalen DeBoer, the guy's a winner wherever he goes. Sioux Falls NAIA winning, and now he's got him right there. And we all know who's in the CFP is probably going to win. So I'm going.
And now for the Biletnikoff Award for the best wide receiver in the nation, our nominees are Marvin Harrison Jr., Ohio State, Malik Neighbors, LSU, and Rome Odunze of Washington. Talk about a great group of candidates again here. These 3 guys are elites. Russ, who are you going with?
Hey, you want to go, Peter, Joe?
Yeah, I'll go. I think Harrison's the most talented out of them. I do think if he had a better quarterback, his year would have been absolutely epic. Every time he was able to get the ball, you couldn't catch him, dude. He's so freakishly fast. So I'm going to go Harrison Jr. He had a great year.
Yeah, I'm on that same train. I feel like ESPN, everyone's been talking about him since week 1. I think he'll be the first pick, he'll be the first wide receiver taken in the draft. It just makes sense. As much as I think Rome Odunze was phenomenal for UW, it's Harris. It's Harris for sure.
They're not going to let Marvin Harrison walk out of there without an award, without some hardware. I'll go with him. Russ.
Yeah, I'm going to buck the trend here. I'm going to go with Rome Odunze.
Sticking with Washington, everything.
In the NCAA this year, so let's go Rome.
Okay, now the Doak Walker Award for the nation's best running back. Ollie Gordon of Oklahoma State, Omarion Hampton of UNC, and Cody Schrader of Mizzou. Honestly, I'd say Omarion Hampton is my pick here. He had some of the most consistent stats all year. Ollie Gordon was very up and down. And Cody Schrader, respect to Mizzou, I don't think he made all the headlines, really. It was really about the coach and how he turned them around. So I'm going to go with Hampton. Joe.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Ollie Gordon. I just think he's been the guy that everyone's kind of been talking about. I think he was the best running back statistically for a while. So I'm just going Ollie Gordon. Should have been my guy from Notre Dame, Audric Estime, but whatever.
Yes. Why is he not even on this list? An absolute joke. So because of that, I'm not even picking because none of those guys deserve it over my guy. So Estime, come on.
Russ?
I'm going Gordon too.
And moving along here, this should be an easy one. The Ray Guy Award for the best punter in the nation. Our nominees are Matt Hayball of Vanderbilt, Alex Mastromano of Florida State, and my pick, and I hope somebody else's pick, at least one on this board, Torrey Taylor of Iowa. Iowa had more punting yards than offensive yards this season. That's why he's my pick. Anybody want to counter that?
I'm jumping on that train with you, Justin. If you have more punting yards than offensive yards, you should win.
Same, exactly.
Yeah, same.
Sweeping the way with the Hawkeyes, Torrey Taylor. And for our wrap-up here, our cheers for the week, mine goes out to Will Reichard, Alabama kicker, who became the NCAA's all-time leader in points when he kicked a field goal, scored with 539 career points. Congrats to you, young man. Let's hear it, Joe.
I have two. First one is the Army-Navy game that's coming up this weekend. Again, want to tip the hat, a salute to all those who have fought and died for our country. It's America's game for a reason. No one loses really that game because really ultimately they're playing a game, but then ultimately they will go and fight and defend for our freedoms. So cheers to Army and Navy and all those people that serve in our armed forces. And then my second one, and I'll be brief, it's just simply for a great season. There's been some highs, there's been lows, there's been some really snooze fests of games, but there's been also some really great games, some massive upsets, and simply I cannot wait already for next year college football to start. So cheers to them and that.
Russ?
Yeah, well, first off, I think, a big shout out to FinTalk Sports Network for giving us the opportunity to do a four group of idiots who just love to talk football every week. So FinTalks Network, thank you for doing this. The other one, I shout out the College Football Playoff Committee for getting it right and giving us the 4 best teams, the 4 best games.
My cheers for the FinStock Sports Network. I don't know about the College Football Playoff Committee. Pete, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll give them a cheer because they got what they wanted. So good for them. But, that's the only cheer I'm going to give them. Otherwise, they can have a good old suck it. But my cheer of the week is us. We did a great job. I think this season was great. So thanks, obviously, to Bobby and everyone. Thanks for everyone that listened. We'll be back next year. We'll be back, obviously, for the post bowls, and we're trying to figure out how to go to the national title game as well as the Rose Bowl. So a lot of content to come. But it's a great season, guys. Honestly, I mean, we killed it, I thought. I had a lot of fun, which is all that really matters, right? So, and final shout out to Dave Roberts, who came out and said he spoke to Shohei Ohtani after Ohtani said, any team that talks about talking to me is not going to get me. So I guess the Dodgers aren't going to get Ohtani because Dave Roberts is an idiot. And that's all I got.
Well, cheers to all of you on a great season. Let the bowl season commence. And we'll see you in a couple weeks. I'm off to Australia right now, boys. I'm in the airport.
Have some shrimp on the bobby.
Oh, not for the vegan, but I know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, not that. Some veg on the bobby.
Veg on the bobby it is.
Vegemite. It's a Vegemite.
I'll go teach the officers what a blooming onion is.
Just be careful. A dingo did eat someone's baby.
Oh, I don't have any kids, so thankfully I don't have to worry about that part.
I mean, I thought you did because you're the number 2 in dad jokes.
That is true. This again? Oh, boy. Well, shout out to all of you who are watching here. Shout out to the FinStock Sports Network. Thank you all for joining in Touchdown Paradise this season. We'll see you in about 3 weeks when it comes to the College Football Playoff National Championship. So I'm Justin.
I'm Pete.
I'm Joe.
I'm Russ.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. We'll see you soon, knuckleheads.
Later, skaters.